Today, I come not merely to speak to your ears, but to awaken your spirit. I come to remind you of a truth more ancient than time and more certain than the sunrise. You are the architect of your reality, and spirit is your master builder. Let us begin with the cornerstone of all manifestation. Faith. Not wavering, not wishful thinking, but bold, blazing, bulldozing faith. The kind of faith that says, I do not care what I see with my eyes, I know what I know with my soul. When you speak from that place, the universe rearranges itself to accommodate your conviction. The world must bow before the one who knows their word shall not return void. And what is that word? It is affirmation. Oh, blessed, holy affirmation. The word you speak is the law you write. Are you scripting a tale of struggle, or are you declaring a destiny of victory? Stop speaking about what you fear and start commanding what you desire. Say it, feel it, live it, and watch how spirit rushes in to fill the mold you have cast. But remember, this is not a game of force. This is not hustle, push, or panic. This is alignment. When your desire is married to divine law, the result is manifestation without effort. What is meant for you does not need to be chased. It comes like a magnet pulled by your inner knowing. Still, I tell you, there will be moments where nothing seems to move. You will look around and ask, where is it? And I say unto you, the delay is your training ground. For every delay is the space in which your miracle is made perfect. Be still. Let the harvest ripen. Your only job is to keep your soil, your mind, fertile with faith, unwavering and unbothered. And finally, move. But move when moved by spirit. Inspired action is not action born of fear or frustration. It is action born of divine prompting, where the path opens wide and you walk with a knowing stride. The universe rewards courage wrapped in clarity. So now, beloved soul, speak as if it is done. Believe as if it is here. Move as if led by angels. Wait as if the banquet is already prepared. And know this, when you walk in divine faith, when you affirm your truth, when you align with the law, and when you move with inspired intent, you manifest fast. Let it be done, for it is already done. Words are not mere sounds. They are spiritual tools, mystical instruments of power and precision. Every syllable you utter becomes a decree sent forth into the invisible ether, where divine law listens, responds, and begins its sacred work. The tongue is not just flesh, it is a rod of dominion. Through your words, you write the script of your life. The question is, are you speaking life or are you rehearsing limitation? When one truly understands the power of affirmation, they no longer speak carelessly. The idle word is not harmless, it is a seed. Whether it bears fruit of blessing or burden depends entirely on its nature. Affirmations, spoken with intention and belief, are not wishful thinking. They are spiritual commands. They are conscious choices to declare truth over illusion, abundance over lack, health over sickness, peace over chaos. So many walk through life affirming their fears instead of their faith. They say things like, I never have enough, or nothing ever works out for me, and wonder why their circumstances repeat themselves like a broken record. The truth is, their word is law, and they are binding themselves to the very condition they seek to escape. Change begins with speech. Transformation begins with the word. When you begin to affirm with power, you speak from your spiritual authority, not your physical condition. You might not see the results with your eyes immediately, but in the invisible realm, movement begins. The very moment you affirm, all things are working together for my good, the wheels of divine machinery turn. The right people begin to move. The right doors begin to prepare their opening. The right ideas descend into your consciousness like lightning bolts of genius. But none of this is activated until the word is spoken. The power lies not only in the words themselves, but in the feeling behind them. The heart must partner with the mouth. The soul must agree with the sound. Saying, I am wealthy, while feeling poor only reinforces the vibration of lack. But when you declare, I am wealth, I am abundance, I am the child of a limitless universe, and you say it with joy, with expectation, with reverence, then the universe responds, not with hesitation, but with certainty. You must speak as though it is already so. You must affirm from the place of already having, already being, already receiving. There is no power in begging. There is no manifestation in pleading. But when you stand in the authority of your divine inheritance and affirm boldly, nothing and no one can withhold what is mine by divine right, then heaven and earth begin to align. Your spoken word becomes the blueprint for the miracle you are building. Your affirmation is your prophecy. Choose wisely. Speak deliberately. Declare fearlessly. For in the beginning was the Word, and the Word is still creating worlds through you. Manifestation is not about striving, struggling, or forcing results. It is not a game of willpower or mere mental effort. It is a sacred alignment, a harmony between your soul's desires and the laws that govern the universe. Just as a river flows without resistance toward the sea, so too should your desires move through you without obstruction when you are in tune with the divine. When you are aligned with spiritual law, manifestation becomes not only possible, it becomes inevitable. There is a divine order operating in all things. The same intelligence that keeps the planets in motion and the seasons in cycle also governs the unfolding of your life. When you act, speak, and think in accordance with that divine intelligence, you step into flow. You no longer have to chase, beg, or manipulate. What is yours by divine right begins to appear, not through force, but through alignment. It comes because it must come. The law does not play favorites, but it does respond to frequency. Alignment begins with surrender, letting go of the need to control every outcome and allowing a higher power to lead the way. This is not weakness. It is supreme strength. It is the wisdom of knowing that your limited human mind cannot outthink divine timing or outmaneuver spiritual law. When you try to force things through impatience or ego, you are pushing against the current. But when you align with trust, peace, and inner knowing, you let the current carry you to your highest good. To be spiritually aligned is to be internally still, even when the outer world appears chaotic. It is knowing deeply and unwaveringly that what you desire is already on its way because you are in harmony with the source that provides all. There is no fear in alignment. There is no worry in alignment. There is no urgency, no desperation, because alignment is the evidence that the work is already done in the unseen realm. People often ask, why isn't it happening for me? The answer lies not in the external circumstances, but in the inner state. Are you aligned in thought, word, and belief with what you claim to desire? Or are you affirming one thing while secretly fearing another? The universe is not confused. It responds to your dominant vibration, not your occasional wishes, but your constant inner truth. When you walk in spiritual alignment, even delays become divine preparation. Even detours are part of the path. You stop doubting and start discerning. You move from panic to purpose. And because you are in tune with a higher law, you no longer need to know how everything will unfold. You only need to remain aligned, and the way will be revealed. Spiritual alignment is the root of true manifestation. It's not about doing more, it's about being in tune. When you become one with the law begins to move on your behalf. The path becomes clear, the timing becomes perfect, and what is yours comes to you with ease, grace, and certainty. There is a divine clock ticking behind every desire, every intention, every prayer you send out into the universe. And that clock does not run on human time, it runs on divine time. You may look at your watch and wonder, why hasn't it happened yet? But the truth is, what is unfolding for you is not bound by urgency, impatience, or deadlines. The harvest comes when the soil is ready, the seed is mature, and the sun is in its appointed place. Timing is not a delay of your good, it is the preparation for it. We live in a world addicted to speed. Quick fixes, instant results, and fast answers are glorified. But in the spiritual realm, haste is not power, patience is. You do not rush the rose to bloom. You do not pull on the roots of a seed to make it sprout faster. If you did, you would destroy its potential. And yet, many do exactly that with their dreams. They speak an affirmation one day and dig it up with doubt the next. They ask, where is it? before the soil has even had time to warm. The law works with precision, not pressure. When you trust in divine timing, you enter a state of peace that the world cannot give. You stop questioning the pace of your progress and start honoring the process itself. Because every delay you perceive is not a denial, it is divine orchestration. The people you're meant to meet, the resources you need, the inner growth you must undergo, all of it is being arranged behind the veil. There is more going on for you in the unseen than you could ever imagine. The harvest must unfold naturally. If it comes too soon, it may collapse under the weight of unprepared hands. And Spirit will never deliver a blessing before you are equipped to hold it. So instead of crying out in frustration, you must learn to wait in faith, not in fear. To wait is not to be idle, but to be inwardly active, watering your vision with gratitude, affirming its arrival, and preparing for its appearance. You do not pace the floor in worry. You set the table in expectation. The one who understands divine timing does not beg, they bless. They bless the delay. They bless the silence. They bless the space between the planting and the sprouting. Because in that space, Spirit is at work. The sculptor is still chiseling. The architect is still designing. You may not hear the hammer or see the blueprint, but the building is rising just the same. Impatience is born from distrust. But trust, true, soul-deep trust, is the foundation of manifestation. You may not know when or how, but you must know it is coming, because once you speak your word in faith and align with divine law, the results are guaranteed. Not in your time, but in perfect time. Let the harvest unfold. It is not late. It is not lost. It is right on time. True manifestation is not just about thinking the right thoughts or speaking the right words. It also involves movement. But not all movement is created equal. There is a vast difference between action born of anxiety and action born of inspiration. Anxious action is rushed, forced, and filled with fear. It's the kind of action that says, if I don't do this now, everything will fall apart. It's driven by the illusion of lack and the lie of urgency. Inspired action, on the other hand, is calm, clear, and certain. It flows from a place of divine guidance. It comes not from pressure, but from purpose. The universe does not reward frantic effort, it responds to aligned intention. People exhaust themselves trying to push doors open that are not meant for them, chasing opportunities that do not carry their name. They burn out, not because they are not doing enough, but because they are doing too much of the wrong thing, at the wrong time, for the wrong reasons. When you are truly connected to Spirit, you will know when to move and when to be still. You will feel the difference between a nudge from your soul and a shove from your fear. Inspired action often doesn't make sense to the rational mind. It might be a quiet urge to make a phone call, take a walk, change your routine, or say yes to something unexpected. It might look small, but its impact is enormous. Spirit doesn't always shout, it whispers. And when you listen to that whisper, when you move in harmony with that divine impulse, you are moving in power. You are taking steps that are already supported by invisible forces. The path unfolds as you walk it. There is no strain in inspired action. There is energy, there is flow, there is momentum, but there is no panic. You are not trying to force outcomes. You are following instructions. You are not chasing what you want. You are magnetizing it by showing up in alignment. And the beautiful thing is, when you act from inspiration, even small steps carry great weight. One word, one decision, one shift can unlock doors you didn't even know existed. This is why it's so vital to cultivate stillness within. You cannot hear divine direction if you are drowned in noise and chaos. Prayer, meditation, quiet reflection, these are not luxuries. They are the tools that tune your inner ear to the voice of guidance. From that place of connection, you'll know when to rest and when to act. And when you act, it will be swift and sure, not because you are rushing, but because you are ready. So let your action be inspired, not anxious. Don't run just to be moving. Wait for the signal, then walk with boldness. Trust that Spirit goes before you, preparing the way. You are not alone in your effort. When the action is inspired, it carries the wind of heaven behind it. And what you touch will prosper, not by force, but by divine flow.